So this weekend, it's Lerone Murphy versus Movsar Evloev. Evloev. I remember I rewatched him fight Arnold Allen. For some reason, the announcers just didn't know how to say his last name. I don't think it's that hard. Evloev. Am I crazy? Anyways.
Who cares, bro? Straight up.
So yeah. So you want to talk about the main event first? Do you want to talk about these props that you have cooked up here for me, who has not done the research you have?
Let's try to just mix it up, but start with the main card.
Start with the main card.
Maybe start at main event because let's be honest, it's the only fight that people care about. So
yeah.
And even in that fact, it's actually not even a fight that people care about.
I don't know. I think it should be decent. Am I crazy to say this? I actually find Movsar Evloev more entertaining than Lerone Murphy. Like, he's just more fun to watch. He's actually his wrestling is actually good. Like I feel like every time he fights, the grappling exchanges are actually fun to watch. He's not like a lay and pray. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that he has more entertaining wrestling than like Arman?
Sarukian?
Yeah. Or like better wrestling?
Possibly. Better than I like watching Movsar more than Merab. I do not like watching Merab that much. I really don't. Merab takes people down, barely establishes any control, or just grinds them up against the cage with knees. And it's like, dude, this is just not fun to watch.
Yeah.
Or he controls them on the ground and just doesn't do much with it. It's like, dude.
Because like at the end of the day, what's fun to watch is seeing a fighter actually attempt to get a finish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if they win the fight. Like, did they do anything to get a finish? I mean, Khabib, like, he was like wrestling heavy, but at least he got finishes in his career. You know, mostly finishes.
Well, I mean, and Movsar doesn't have any finishes really at all, right? Does he have any? Not in his UFC career. Every single fight in his UFC career has gone to decision.
Yeah, it's impressive in its own.
That is impressive. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But I will say, part of the reason why he might be more fun for me to watch than Merab is not because of anything Merab's doing that's wrong, but it's more the fact that there's better grapplers at featherweight than there are at bantamweight. That's entirely possible.
Like,
you know what I
Aljo
mean?
And stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose Aljo was a bantamweight at one point, but he didn't fight Merab, so...
Dude, I would have loved to see Aljo versus Merab. That would have been fun, actually.
That would have been super fun. Yeah, I would love to see that fight too. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think his fight with Arnold Allen was really fun to watch. I actually really enjoyed his fight with Aljamain Sterling. I thought it was really fun to watch. It's really entertaining. Dang, I forgot he was supposed to fight Aaron Pico last year. That would have been kind of interesting. Movsar, he's supposed to fight Aaron Pico last year in July.
And then Movsar pulled out?
I think so.
Go figure. How's this guy not cut yet, dude? What the heck?
I know. He's only 32 as well. He's actually decently young. It's honestly pretty impressive.
And it feels like he's killed like 5 years of his career. Like just from pulling out and like, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. He's only fought once a year since 2022. He fought twice in 2024, I guess. He didn't fight at all last year, though. That is crazy. His last fight was UFC 310. UFC 310 was December of 2024. So it's been 15 months.
That's not
over a year since he fought. I agree. Yeah. But anyways, we can actually talk about this fight. What are your initial thoughts about it?
I mean, I think Evloev is going to have the easiest fight of his life. Mainly for the fact that he's fought more styles than Lerone Murphy. I think Lerone Murphy has fought kind of a lot of like similar people. Like looking at his last fights, he's fought Aaron Pico, Josh Emmett, Dan Ige, Edson Barbosa. Those guys are all strikers, some power punchers. You know, Aaron Pico, who was a debutant. I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, he was making a debut, yeah.
Yeah, and he took Lerone Murphy down pretty easily. And I'm like, dude, if Aaron Pico is probably a great wrestler, but we haven't seen him in the UFC for, you know, more than one fight, so I'm not going to hold him high level yet. And so you got taken down by Aaron Pico. Movsar is probably the highest level wrestler in 145. The only other person that could maybe compete would probably be Aljo, and he beat Aljo. So I think Movsar is going to have the easiest fight. He's going to take him down probably once every round. He's probably going to have 3 minutes of control time every round. I don't trust him to get a finish because he doesn't get finishes. And so I think Lerone Murphy decision is the easiest pick of the card.
You mean Movsar Evloev decision?
Is that what I
You
said?
said Lerone Murphy. Yeah, I know what you meant though. Yeah, it's actually funny when you mentioned that. I looked at the odds because I haven't been paying attention to much of that. Mosar is a minus 250 favorite, which I think is fair. I think it's actually pretty accurate. I think he should be a very strong favorite, which I would say anything over minus 200 is like, yeah, it's not a guarantee you're going to win. Like Lerone Murphy very well could win this fight, but Mosar definitely should be the favorite because I agree stylistically, this is a better fight for him than it is for Lerone Murphy. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Pico took down Lerone Murphy twice in their fight. And Aaron Pico, I wish I could really compare him to Mosar in like grappling ability, but the shots that he took were not the most. They weren't anything crazy, like pretty basic. And Mosar is very, very good in the wrestling department. So he will, I almost guarantee he'll get Lerone Murphy down. Lerone Murphy handled himself pretty well on the ground against Aaron Pico. So I'm not sure if this fight would end. Like, I don't think this would end in a KO or submission. I really, really doubt this fight goes, it would be inside the distance, but you never know, man. Anything can happen. But yeah, I think,
I know Lerone has some pretty good step-in knees. That's my only worry. Like his only finish in the UFC was to a step-in knee where a guy was trying to hit a takedown on him. And I think there's potential there, but I'm not sure if Mofsar has ever been dropped. I think I'm just like I just have a hard time seeing Lerone catching Mofsar really bad. You know, Mofsar, as inactive as he is, he's still been in the UFC for a long time. He's very battle tested. He probably doesn't get as nervous and as hyped up as Aaron Pico did, which is why Aaron Pico made the mistakes he did in that fight. I'm very confident Mofsar decision or Mofsar point spread at minus 5.5. Lerone might take a round, but I don't think he'll take more than that.
Yeah, Mofsar point spreads plus 105. That's actually not even terrible. Yeah, Lerone Murphy's pretty crafty. Honestly, he's pretty crafty. Like he lands really good elbows up close. Like he's really good at landing elbows. Who was it that he fought that I'm trying to think of? Aaron Pico. He landed some good elbows against Aaron Pico. Yeah, I agree with you. Like I wouldn't count it out that he could land a knee on Mosar as he's going for takedowns, but Mosar is actually pretty good at setting up his takedowns too. He had such a nice takedown set up against Arnold Allen in the first round. Just like a perfect double leg that he shot after he kind of because Arnold Allen was doing this thing where he would have his hand down really low, right? He had very much like a McGregor-esque kind of stance where he's like really heavy on the front leg, kind of leaning forward with his lead hand low at the hip. Problem is, okay, if your lead hand is low, then it's sitting right there next to your lead leg, where if you're trying to enter a takedown, it's kind of there to down block or whatever. And so Mofsar needed a way to get the hands up. And he threw his right cross, because when he throws the right cross, Arnold Allen's going to have to lean back, right, to pull his head back. And when he does that, hands came up, shot the double leg, and it was perfect, just like textbook. So yeah, Mofsar is good at setting up his takedowns, and yeah, I agree. I think his path to victory here is pretty straightforward. I think he'll be able to take Lerone Murphy down and just kind of coast out a decision probably.
Yeah, this fight actually reminds me a lot of, like, stylistically, Leon versus Kamaru in their first fight. You know, think about it like that. And from what we saw, it was basically the easiest Kamaru decision of, you know, leading up to the head kick KO. I mean, obviously people in the comments are gonna be like, well, he got knocked out. It's like, okay, well, I know that, but for the first 24 and a half minutes, it was like the worst beatdown I've ever seen. So
yeah,
and that's what I'm gonna expect, because I think Kamaru beats Leon 8 out of 10 times, even though he lost twice against him. But like, still, I still agree with that. So that's what I'd compare it to. But we can probably move on if you have anything else to say.
No, yeah, you're right. I think just to kind of like restate what you said, if Kamaru Usman fought Leon Edwards 10 times, let's say the first time, so not after they had their first fight, because that affected Kamaru psychologically in the second fight, but in the first fight, the two fighters that Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman were, like the people they were at that time, if they fought 10 times, if you recreated that fight 10 times, Kamaru probably would finish a decision like seven times, probably. I would think 7 out of 10 times he's winning that fight by decision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, maybe the 1 out of 10 time where Leon gets the head kick KO happened to be the one that actually happened in reality. But yeah, most of the time, like Kamaru's winning that fight by decision.
Dude, I can't believe Leon was like champion, has like title defenses. That's insane to me.
It is wild.
Yeah. Okay, so the co-main, I'll be honest, I don't really care about this fight, but I do want to at least mention it. You don't have to jump in if you don't want to. Mm-hmm. But Luke Riley comes from the same gym as Patty. Patty's in his corner. He's very good striking. Doesn't have like a lot of grappling, I'm pretty sure, but he's got really good striking. He knocked out Bogdan Grad in his last fight. So he's really good. And I mean, I don't really have like a pick. I just want to like mention him. I mean, I would pick him for the fact that they put him as the co-main and he's unranked. Like the UFC believes he's a star, right? And so I'm not saying that this is a gifted matchup, but the UFC believes that he'll probably get a really good finish in his home country. That's why he's the co-main. So, you know, I think Luke Riley is also, he's good, and he probably will win this fight just for that fact. But
he's fighting another young fella too. Michael Aswell is 25. It's wild. Also, he looks like he's 35.
Michael Aswell.
Yeah, he looks like Benoit Saint-Denis kind of. My opinion.
Does.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for him. I didn't know anything about Luke Riley, but I looked at his ESPN page, and he's got
a lot of KOs.
12 wins, no losses, 9 KOs. So he really is like a finisher, which is great. No surprise there. Like the UFC is trying to push this guy because they really see some potential here as someone who could be a finisher, which is great.
Yeah, and Michael Aswell's never been finished. So as much as I like think, you know, Luke Riley KO is a good option for his finishing ability and the UFC trusting him, probably decision might be the better bet. But I don't really think it's like, I don't think I'll put any money on this fight. But
yeah, dude, untested people, it's always risky to do that.
Yeah. And so in the next fight, we have MVP and Sam Patterson. Dude, I want to go against the green so badly in this fight and pick Sam Patterson for a lot of reasons. One, Sam Patterson has a crazy finishing ability. The only time he's ever been finished, or I think maybe his only loss, oh shit, I might be pulling that out of my butt, but I think it's the lightweight knockout loss to Ashmel, whatever that guy is. He's 2 losses, but his finishing ability is insane. And MVP, anytime, I think he's gonna get taken down in this fight. I think he's gonna get his back taken. I think he's gonna get choked out. Remember his fight with Kevin Holland? Kevin Holland actually, I think MVP overextended himself, and Kevin Holland kind of like took him down or fell on his back, and there was a rear naked choke locked in. I remember that for like a second, and MVP barely turned out of it. I'm like, dude, if a guy like Sam Patterson gets that choke in, dude, it's over. Squeezing the hell out of that. But if we're going by most likely, like I think MVP's probably going to do what he always does and probably coast to a decision. That's probably what he's going to do. He does it every fight. He'll probably like beat him up from the outside, dance, do a little Fortnite emotes, and then get out of there and get it back. That's what he does every time. You know, so I think that's a big possibility, probably the highest, but I think Sam Patterson's finishing ability is being undervalued insanely. Insanely. And I don't think he's going to get knocked out because MVP doesn't really knock people out, and Sam Patterson is up a weight class, so I think his chances are probably going to be a little bit better. But I'm going to say Sam Patterson finish. I think it's so live. Interesting.
Yeah, so I have seen Sam Patterson fight before, but I can't really recall exactly how he fights. He's got really long arms, 78-inch reach, which is just ridiculous at welterweight. But you said he was a lightweight at one point?
That's his knockout loss to Yanal Ashmuz was at lightweight, and then he went up in weight after that, I'm pretty sure.
Ah, I see. And he's been on all round 1 finishes since then. So he's on an absolute tear, which is crazy. I mean, that is this fight is going to be fireworks. You do not want to miss this one.
Yeah, because even though MVP doesn't have a lot of finishing ability, he's still a character. Like I think he's more entertaining to watch than Merab, even though him and Merab are kind of the same, but different styles. Merab, doesn't really go for a finish, but is always dominant and is always emoting. MVP doesn't really go for a finish, but is always dominating the striking and always emoting. So him and Merab are kind of a really similar comparison, but I'll definitely tune in for this fight. But yeah, you have anything else to say?
I'm just looking at DraftKings. Sam Patterson's KO prop is the same as his decision prop, which is plus 650. His sub prop was plus 450. MVP's KO prop is plus 175. So people think MVP is way more likely to KO Sam Patterson than the reverse.
I don't know, man.
The most likely outcome in this fight is MVP KO.
That's not happening.
That is crazy.
I'll eat my words if it does, but I'm telling you right now, I am so confident that MVP will not get a finish. Like we don't have anything to compare it to. On.
Yeah.
What are we
he did
talking
knock
about?
down Jared Cannonier several times in that fight. Do you remember that? Jared Cannonier just could not deal with the speed of him.
But he's not going to jump on the finish. He doesn't get flatline KOs, and if he knocks Sam Patterson down, he's going to let him up. He's going to dance around, point at him, and he's going to get back to his little pep step karate stance. He's not going to knock him down, jump on him, hammer fist.
Right.
That's just not what he does.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think you either bet MVP decision or you bet Sam Patterson, finish. I think those are the two bets, and there's a lot more value on Sam Patterson finish. So that's where I think I would. That's where I'll probably play it. But
yeah.
But yeah,
not a bad pick. I like it.
What's the next fight?
Next one you had on your list was Baraniewski.
Oh, that's easy. Okay, I'm gonna be real. The odds makers have this one very right. Evo's at minus 600, and for a very good reason. The dude is an absolute polar express. He is a train. I remember when I was watching his Dana White's Contender Series fight. He was fighting this guy, this jiu-jitsu guy who's huge. His name is Muhammad Ali. It's actually his name. I think Baraniewski was probably plus 300 in that fight, and he knocked him out in 15 seconds with one punch.
Wow.
And then he goes out there to Aslan and gets him out in the first round. And Austin Lane, I think Austin Lane is probably worse than Aslan. Aslan is bad, but Austin Lane, dude, I don't even know I think he has one win in the UFC. But what is Austin Lane's path to victory? It's not brawling, because every time he's brawled in the UFC, he's been I think he's been knocked out 4 times in the UFC. And he's only been in the UFC for 3 years. It's insane. And he fought Justin Taffa, and he couldn't take him down.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Do you know how sad that is? We've all watched the Taffa brothers. We know what their game is. He couldn't take Justin Taffa down. His only path to victory is to take Baraniewski down and probably ride to a decision. Dude, he's getting knocked out in the first round. And I'm so confident I might put a little something on an SGP parlay and put him to get a KO within half a round. Literally.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure the Baraniewski round 1 KO is minus 150. And I think
crazy.
The KO in half a round is plus 300. But
yeah, I'm gonna make it right now. So Baraniewski
KO
money line minus 575. KO is under half a round is plus 195, and KO minus 350 together plus 280. Dude, that seems wildly low considering you're saying he's gonna hit a KO in 2.5 minutes. That is insane,
dude. But look at his record, man. I need to pull up his record because I'm pretty sure it's
most of them. A lot of them are under 2 minutes.
Bro, every win he has is round 1 KOs. Or no, he has 2 submissions.
This guy's an absolute marauder.
Dude,
but still, every fight has ended in round 1 is insane. And most of them within 2 minutes. This guy is an absolute bull.
And then go to Austin Lane. When are his knockout losses? Okay, he got submitted in the first round, KO'd in the second round, KO'd in the second round, KO'd in the first round. But he's getting KO'd in the second round by Janata Denise. Baraniewski, Dude, I'm putting the house. I'm straight up. I'm putting the 401k. Maybe if I was gonna bet a lot, I just bet round one. But for just a little sprinkle, dude, half a round. Austin Lane is so chinny. This is such a bad matchup for him. I don't know why I took this fight. Like it's just the matchmakers just want to see a corpse.
Hey man, they're trying to build up Ivo Baraniewski. I guarantee it,
dude.
I guarantee it. They're trying to turn him into a star, and this is the easiest way to do it.
And it makes you wonder: do these fighters know what's going on when they get the contracts? Like, oh, you just got an offer to fight Ivo Baraniewski for whatever your contract is, 12 grand, 16 grand. You want to fight him? Sure. Like, bro, do you not know that they're trying to crucify you on live TV? Like that's if I were Austin Lane, I would have not accepted that fight. Frick that.
I don't know if those people, like if people in the lower ranks though, kind of have the negotiating power to even say that they can, to even refuse fights like that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is a job. Like if they get given a task, they're like, I mean, why would they say no? Like, I think it's kind of weird if you're saying, nah, I'm only going to pick certain fighters in this division that I want to fight. It's like, well, if your goal is to be the champion, you should feel confident that you should face anybody in the division because it's possible that anybody in the division could challenge you for the belt, you know?
I guess, bro. Yeah, you're probably right. But I'm just like, dude, I'd rather retire than fight Evloev Baraniewski. Like straight
just
up,
throw in
dude.
the towel instantly right in the fight starts. Just have the coach throw in the white towel right away.
Dude, yeah. Evloev Baraniewski, yeah. I don't really have much more to say. I'm just, at this point, I'm just flaming Austin Lane. But Evloev Baraniewski, round 1 KO. I even think round 1, half a round KO. But definitely tune in for that fight. You'll probably see a corpse. Going forward, we have CLD and Roman Dolidze. And I'm kind of torn on this fight because obviously I think CLD is going to win. I think CLD is more technical. I never really thought Roman Dolidze was that good. Like his wins are like, whatever, Brendan Allen and Kevin Holland. I don't even know what else.
The Kevin Holland one was kind of a fluke too, because that was wasn't that the one where Kevin Holland hurt his rib or his shoulder or something? Yeah.
And he also beat like Jack Hermanson, but it's like, dude, we're naming off the people that are like, actually, did he beat Brendan Allen? Am I smoking there? No, he never fought.
No, he did not.
No. He beat Anthony Smith, Kevin Holland, Marvin Vettori. Get this guy out of here. Oh, and Kyle Dawkins.
He also lost to Marvin Vettori at one point too. He beat Kyle Dawkins, beat Phil Hawes, beat Jack Hermanson, then he lost to Vettori, lost to Imavov, beat Anthony Smith, beat Holland, beat Vettori again, or I guess beat him in the rematch, I should say, and then he lost by sub to Anthony Hernandez. I agree. He's okay. He's a very okay fighter.
We're talking about this guy going to war with people like Anthony Smith and Marvin Vettori. Then you go to CLD, who obviously is fighting lower ranked, competition, but he's coming off of KOs. His technique is really, really good.
Really active too.
I think CLD is such an easy pick here. Maybe Roman Dolidze could like do some dirty boxing, maybe get into clinch and try to get some takedowns, but I don't know, man. They've both never been finished. I want to say CLD finished because he's on kind of a KO streak, but Dolidze is pretty durable. I'll give him that. So, I mean, CLD decision, I think, is a pretty fair bet here, and that's going to be my pick.
It's plus 130. Yeah, it's one of the highest likely outcomes for this one.
Yeah, but that's all I have to say. I don't really care about this fight, but I do hope CLD kind of wins and kind of keeps moving up the rankings because
he's more fun to watch than Roman Dolidze for sure. Yeah, this fight is. Yeah. I don't anticipate this fight being super entertaining.
Yeah, tune in for the Ewo Baraniewski, the Sam Patterson fight, and maybe a couple others, but there's definitely not one that's like waking up early to see.
Yeah. Is it in the morning?
It's a Europe card.
Yeah, that's right.
So we have. That's kind of all the fights in the main card that I really want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about Curtis Campbell and Danny Silva because I don't know who they are. But I do want to talk about Nathaniel Wood and Losine Keita, mainly about Losine Keita. So Nathaniel Wood, right? He's pretty good.
He's solid.
High output, well rounded. I don't think he's that young, but he's been in the UFC for a while, so he's he's solid. He's an unk. He's solid. Losine Keita, I don't know if do you know anything about him?
I don't.
Not really. So he's coming from Octagon MMA, which Octagon is actually probably one of the better B tier organizations. I think Octagon is actually pretty good. What I hear, actually, I'm not gonna lie and say that I wake up and watch Octagon MMA, but from what I hear, they have some good prospects.
They're
coming
decent.
over.
Okay.
Yeah, Losine Keita was actually scheduled to fight Patricio Pitbull at like 314 or something, or I don't know, and he missed weight because it was short notice. But safe to say, he's a really big featherweight. And I don't know if you looked at his record, dude. And I've seen some of his highlights. Dude, he throws absolute missiles. He's got absolute rockets in
heavy
his
hands.
Yes. And Nathaniel Wood got dropped by Jose Delgado. Jose Delgado's good, but this is going to be one of the few times where a person coming from a B-tier organization who's debuting, I'm actually going to pick them to get a KO. I don't know, man. Losine Keita, I don't really have an analysis to say in the fact that I've seen some highlights and dude, this guy's gonna land a freaking
Throwing
bomb.
bombs.
Dude, yes. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I think he's gonna get a pretty good KO.
Interesting. Okay, I'll have to be watching this one then.
All right. And then the last one we'll talk about is the Mario Pinto fight. Felipe Franco, he's actually, I think he's short notice for this fight. And Mario Pinto's a really good prospect. He's minus 900. People already know who's going to win this fight. But Mario Pinto is definitely somebody you should look at for like future champ material because heavyweight is so bad right now. Like if there's any time to, start bulking at the light heavyweights, you start bulking because heavyweight is so, that's what Alex Pereira is doing.
Dude, it's the best time if you're going to go for like some double or I guess triple champ status in Pereira's case. Now's the time to do it because just the absolute state of the division right now is atrocious. Yeah,
literally. I mean, Pereira right now is thinking like, yeah, I can eat more steak and probably get a triple champ. Hello?
Win-win. Yeah, win-win.
Like send it. And also probably make more money because like no matter how bad heavyweight is, humans just like watching big people fight.
Yeah.
It's just like that. Like, there's not much more to say. They like watching dudes that are like 6'3" throw bombs in the first round. That's just what we like watching. And so, no matter how bad it is, if you see Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall, you're still gonna freaking throw money at the UFC because I want to watch that.
Right.
Even though
that would
Tom
be a good
Aspinall,
fight, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though Tom Aspinall's gonna sub Alex Pereira in probably 2 rounds, I'm still gonna throw my money at it because what if Alex Pereira lands a bomb in the first round?
Right.
That's just kind of whatever. But that's actually all I really had to say about this whole card. I don't know if you have any more final words about it.
Not really. I think the Iwa Baraniewski fight is going to be crazy. I'm really curious to see how Luke Riley does. I've never seen him fight, and they're putting him in the co-main. So obviously the UFC maybe thinks there's some star potential here. So like if you've ever thought to yourself, oh man, I kind of wish I could have seen McGregor when he was on his way up. Not saying Luke Riley is McGregor, but there's always these things where you're like, oh, if I could have seen Hamzat when he was still like unranked, like that, the hype behind that and just kind of the excitement every time he fought, like, oh, like what's he going to do to his opponent now? And it sounds like the UFC is kind of trying to maybe test the waters and see if Luke Riley can be one of those guys. He's really young and apparently he looks pretty good. So yeah, that's another one to check out, I guess, as far as excitement goes. And then Sam Patterson versus MVP is going to be sick too. It's going to be a really fun fight.
Yeah, it's going to be absolute cinema. Better card than last week, for sure.
I agree.
But I'm still kind of like, all right, we're kind of getting the Moicano versus, Chris Duncan or whatever. I'm like, all right, all these random fight nights. I'm like, dude, we need to get some, we need time to kick out my Chiesa and start getting some bangers loaded up pretty soon. But yeah, so I think that'll be it for this pod, probably.
Awesome. Well, we'll recap it after the event's over.